Imagine two neighbors living on the same street. They have houses next to each other. They see each other's cars in the driveway. They wave hello when they get their mail at the same time. One neighbor earns $60,000 a year. Solid income. Nothing flashy. They drive a reasonable car, take reasonable vacations, live a reasonable life. The other neighbor earns $350,000 a year. More than 5 times as much. They drive a nicer car, live in a slightly bigger house, take more expensive vacations. From the outside, they look like they have it made. If you had to guess who is more financially secure, who has more savings, who sleeps better at night, who is less stressed about money, most people would answer instantly. The one making $350,000. It is obvious. More money equals more security. Everyone knows that. But what if I told you the $60,000 earner has more investments, less debt, less stress, and more freedom? What if I told you the $350,000 earner secretly checks their bank account before every big purchase, feels nervous when unexpected bills arrive, and lies awake at night doing the same anxious math that people with much lower incomes do? This is not rare. This is not an isolated case. This is becoming normal. This is happening everywhere, in every city, in every neighborhood, to people who look successful from the outside but feel trapped on the inside. Today I am going to show you something almost nobody explains. Something that contradicts everything we are taught about money. High income does not protect you from being broke. It does not automatically make you secure. It does not guarantee freedom. And if you do not understand this trap, if you do not see how it works, earning more money might actually make your life more fragile, not safer. You might be building a castle on sand without realizing it. Let us talk about why. Part 1. The illusion of big numbers. We are trained from an early age to believe one simple equation. It is drilled into us by parents, by teachers, by movies, by culture. More income equals fewer problems. That is the equation. That is the promise. Hit 6 figures, cross that $100,000 mark, and you are finally fine. Hit 200,000, and you are safe. Hit 500,000, and money stops mattering altogether. You have made it. You are beyond worry. But real data, actual research on how people live and spend, shows something shocking. Something that does not fit the story. A huge percentage of people earning $300,000, $400,000, even $500,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. They are one missed paycheck away from trouble. They have no margin. No cushion. No safety. Let that sink in for a moment. People who earn more in a single month than many families earn in an entire year still feel financial pressure. Still stress about money. Still worry about making ends meet. Why does this happen? How can someone with so much income feel so little security? Because income is not the same as wealth. This is the fundamental distinction that changes everything. Income is water flowing through a pipe. It is the amount coming in each month, each year. It can be high. It can be low. It can change. Wealth is water stored in a tank. It is what you have saved, what you have kept, what you have accumulated over time. If the pipe is wide, if income is high, but the tank is empty, you still run out when the water stops. You still have nothing saved. You still have no cushion. You are still vulnerable. Part 2. The lifestyle elevator. Let me explain the real problem. The mechanism that turns high income into financial fragility without people even realizing it. When income rises, lifestyle rises quietly with it. It happens automatically. It happens gradually. It happens without conscious decision. Not dramatically. Not irresponsibly. Just gradually. Smoothly. Naturally. A $12 lunch at a normal place becomes a $28 lunch at a nicer place because you can afford it now. A Toyota becomes a BMW because you deserve a nicer car after all your hard work. A small house becomes a bigger one for comfort, for space, for the life you have built. Vacations become resorts instead of road trips because why not? You earned it. Each decision, considered alone, feels completely reasonable. You worked hard. You deserve it. You can afford it. And technically, you can. The numbers work. The payment fits. But here is the danger that nobody warns you about. Spending grows automatically. It rises with income without any effort. Saving does not grow automatically. It requires intention. It requires choice. It requires going against the current. And once a luxury becomes normal, once you get used to the nicer lunch, the nicer car, the bigger house, going backward feels painful. It feels like failure. It feels like losing something you have earned. That is the trap. I call it the lifestyle elevator. It only goes up. It never comes down. And most people never press the down button because it feels like admitting defeat. Part 3. Why high earners feel broke. Here is something counterintuitive that explains the whole paradox. Something that makes no sense until you think about it carefully. The more you earn, the easier it becomes to commit to large fixed expenses. Banks approve bigger mortgages. Car dealers offer larger loans. Schools, clubs, memberships, all become accessible. Credit limits expand. Options multiply. And once these expenses are locked in, once you have signed the papers and moved into the bigger house and bought the nicer car, they become permanent. They are not optional anymore. They are obligations. Now your income is not freedom. It is not a source of options and choices. It is fuel for obligations. It is what keeps the machine running. If the fuel stops, the machine stops. Think of it like building a castle with gold bricks. It looks impressive from the outside. Everyone admires it. Everyone thinks you have made it. But every single brick increases the weight you must carry. Every brick is another obligation. Another payment. Another thing that must be maintained. When income drops, even temporarily, even for a good reason, the structure becomes fragile. The weight becomes crushing. And fragility creates stress. Constant, background, never-ending stress. That is why someone earning $400,000 can feel as anxious about money as someone earning $70,000. Different numbers. Same pressure. Same fear. Same sleepless nights. Part 4. The millionaire paradox. Now here is the twist that turns everything upside down. The thing that reveals the truth about who actually has money and who just looks like they do. Most real millionaires do not look rich. They do not drive flashy cars. They do not wear obvious luxury brands. They often live in average neighborhoods in normal houses that do not stand out. Why? Why would someone with money not show it? Because they understand one rule that changes everything. One simple principle that separates those who build wealth from those who just appear to have it. Wealth is what you keep, not what you show. Wealth is the tank, not the pipe. Wealth is the stored water, not the flow. There are two types of people in the world when it comes to money. High earners and high keepers. High earners maximize lifestyle. They use their income to live well, to have nice things, to impress others. They look rich. High keepers maximize ownership. They use their income to build assets, to invest, to accumulate. They become rich. One looks rich. One becomes rich. And over 20 years, those two paths separate dramatically. The high earner who spent everything has memories and maybe some nice stuff that is now old. The high keeper who saved and invested has real wealth, real options, real freedom. Part 5. The real math. Let us make this simple so there is no confusion. So simple that a child could understand it. So clear that you could explain it to anyone. Imagine two people. We will call them Alex and Jordan. Both earn exactly $300,000 a year. Same income. Same starting point. Alex saves 5% of that income. $15,000 a year. The rest goes to lifestyle. Nice house, nice cars, nice vacations. Alex looks successful. Alex lives well. Jordan saves 30% of that income. $90,000 a year. Jordan lives on the remaining $210,000, which is still a lot of money, still a comfortable life, just not as flashy. After 20 years, with average investing returns, here is what happens. Jordan has built several $1 million. Real wealth. Real security. Real freedom. Alex has built a fraction of that. A small fraction. A fraction that will not support retirement, will not provide options, will not create freedom. Same income. Completely different outcome. Because wealth is built from percentage, not from salary. It is built from what you keep, not what you earn. It is built from savings rate, not income level. This is where most people misunderstand money completely. They chase a higher income, thinking it will solve everything. They work for raises and promotions and better jobs. But they never control spending. They never increase their savings rate. Increasing income without controlling spending is like pouring water into a bucket full of holes. The faster you pour, the faster it leaks. You end up in the same place, just moving faster. Part 6. The social pressure machine. There is another force making this problem worse. A force that operates constantly, invisibly, affecting everyone with a phone and an internet connection. Comparison. Social comparison. Looking at what others have and feeling like you need the same. Social media shows everyone's highlights constantly. Vacations in beautiful places. Kitchen renovations that look like magazines. New cars in driveways. Meals at expensive restaurants. Clothes and gadgets and experiences. You do not see their credit card balance. You do not see their stress. You do not see their debt. You do not see the arguments about money happening behind closed doors. You just see the highlight reel. So high earners compare themselves to even higher earners. They see people making more, having more, doing more. And suddenly $250,000 feels normal. $400,000 feels average. $1 million feels required. The finish line keeps moving. It never stays still. And when the finish line keeps moving, nobody ever feels like they have arrived. Nobody ever feels like enough. Part 7. The escape. Breaking the high-income trap does not require earning more money. That is the irony. That is the twist. The solution is not on the income side of the equation. It requires deciding something. Something simple but difficult. Something that goes against everything culture tells you. How much is enough? Not for Instagram. Not for neighbors. Not for co-workers. Not for friends. For you. For your life. For your peace. You do not need to eliminate comfort. You do not need to live like a monk or deprive yourself of everything enjoyable. You just need to eliminate automatic escalation. The habit of spending more every time you earn more. Here is the rule that wealthy people follow. The rule that separates them from everyone else. Save first. Spend what remains. Not the other way around. If someone earning $400,000 automatically invests $120,000 every year, 30% of their income, their lifestyle still looks impressive. They still live well. They still have plenty. But their future becomes powerful. Their tank fills up. Their security grows. Security is not about earning more. It is about keeping more. It is about the gap between what comes in and what goes out. It is about margin. Part 8. The final message. High income is not the goal. It never was. Freedom is the goal. Options are the goal. Peace is the goal. And freedom does not come from how much flows through your hands. It does not come from the width of the pipe. It comes from how much stays under your control. It comes from the size of the tank. The trap is invisible because it feels like success. It looks like success. It smells like success. Everyone around you applauds when you get the raise, buy the house, drive the car. They think you have made it. But if you do not control lifestyle inflation, if you let spending rise with income automatically, you can earn more every single year and feel no safer than before. The pressure remains. The anxiety remains. The fear remains. So here is the question I want you to ask yourself tonight. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Tonight. When you are lying in bed, thinking about your life. If your income stopped tomorrow, if the paycheck did not come, how long would your life continue unchanged? How long could you maintain your current lifestyle without earning another dollar? That answer, not your salary, not your job title, not your house or your car, is your true financial status. That number is what actually matters. If this video made you rethink money, if it made you question the story you have been told about income and security, hit subscribe and join this channel. Because most people do not fail financially from stupidity. They do not make obviously bad choices. They fail from following normal. They fail from doing what everyone else does. They fail from not seeing the trap until it is too late. And on this channel, we question normal. We point the flashlight at the invisible forces shaping your life. We make the invisible visible.